Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Uma Dhanabalan and what a pleasure to be here today. I'd like to explain to you what cannabis is. Cannabis is a plant that's been around for thousands of years. It has over 500 different chemicals. It has over 140 different cannabinoids that have been identified. THC is one cannabinoid. CBD is another cannabinoid. And on a spectrum, and I like to use the word intoxicating versus psychoactive, and non-intoxicating and non-psychoactive as a comparison. So when we look at the spectrum, the most intoxicating is THC, and CBD is the most non-intoxicating. All of the cannabinoids work in some way with our body's endocannabinoid system. Most people don't even know what the endocannabinoid system, neither did I, until about 10 years ago. The endocannabinoid system is a mere 600 million years old, and it has evolved from the C-squared to what we have in humans today. And what we know is that cannabis works with this system. So let's talk a little bit about this system. So what we know is that CB1, cannabinoid receptor 1, is primarily in the brain, and CB2 is primarily in the immune system. But there are many different receptors throughout the body. THC primarily works with CB1 and CB2 receptors. CBD, on the other hand, works with another receptor. But what's really important to understand is that we want the whole plant. And in regards to the endocannabinoid system, what we know is that when this system goes out of balance, we can have illnesses or diseases. And what we're talking today about is cancer. And cancer is nothing but a cell gone crazy. And depending on where that cell is and where it goes crazy, is where we say is the primary cancer. So for example, if it's in the brain, we say it's brain cancer. If it's in the uterus, we say uterine cancer. If it's in the breast, breast cancer, prostate cancer, and so on. Cannabis works in 4 very specific properties. Fact number 1, cannabis works specifically against the cancer cells and not the healthy cells. What it is able to do is identify the receptors, primarily CB1 or CB2 receptors, and is able to attack the cancer cells specifically, and states, cancer cell, we are not going to let you multiply, i.e. anti-proliferation. Number 2, it says to the cancer cells, I am not going to let you spread, i.e. anti-metastatic. Number 3, it says, cancer cell, I am not going to let you have any more blood supply, anti-agenesis. And fact number 4, it says, cancer cell, you need to die. And it's known as apoptosis and causes self-death, a form of suicide. So let's go over those 4 facts again. Number 1, anti-proliferation, anti-metastatic, anti-agenesis, and apoptosis. 4 very specific ways in how cannabis works against cancer and not the healthy cells. Let's talk about what options are for cancer treatment. At the present time, patients have chemotherapy, radiation, antibiotics, steroids, or surgeries to take parts of their body off. Cannabis should be a first-line option and not the last resort. This is what Dr. Uma says. Cannabis has been around for thousands of years, and in most cases, cannabis was not used as a first-line option. We are giving patients chemotherapy and radiation, and consequently, the side effects of this are nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, and even to the extent of cachexia, where people get so lean and thin that they die because of malnutrition. So let's talk about cannabis as how it can help with all of these side effects. Nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite. Cannabis can be used to prevent it if given prior to the patients even having chemotherapy, and giving it to them after that they've had chemotherapy so that it can stimulate their appetite and bring their immune system up. Therefore, that they do not become anorexic and do not die from something that it can be easily preventable. And cannabis can be used for an array of patients. In my practice, I use it for patients that have cancer. My youngest patients are 18, my oldest is 98. And we are able to see that with cannabis being available, patients are improving their quality of life. And yes, we see success where we see patients that the cancer is put into remission, or where their progression of cancer is no longer happening. And we even see patients that are cured, and yes, cured from their cancers. What we would like to see is that this becomes available to all patients, and the facts be known that cannabis is a safe alternative. It is about harm reduction. It's about improving people's quality of life. And Dr. Uma says cannabis is the exit drug. Cannabis is not an entrance drug. It is an exit drug from pharmaceuticals, narcotics, alcohol, nicotine, and yes, also to let people die with dignity. Why not let it be a first-line option?